Greetings, Inquisitors. Welcome to the Holocron. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes mobile game offers many different ways for you to spend cash or crystals in the game. Before you click that button, how do you know if you're making a good purchase or completely wasting your money? My name is Loquitur, and today I would like to help answer those questions in the second of my new player guides for 2025. Please remember, as we get started, take out your like saber, slash that like button. It helps me, it helps the channel. I would appreciate it if you could do that for me. All right, this is not going to cover shops and other in-game currencies. We're going to cover that in a different holocron later on. This is going to be about efficient purchases in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes regarding crystals and cash. We're going to talk about the character and fleet data cards. We're going to talk about purchasing crystals themselves, the Hyperdrive Bundle, Lightspeed Bundle offerings that are going to come and go from the shop periodically. When you log into the game today, you may or may not see a Lightspeed Bundle offering, so just be aware that I'm going to talk about these things. They're not always in the store for you to buy. We're going to talk about gear, material, mod packs, things like that that are going to show up in the store for you to buy. Conquest Pass and Episode Pass. As we get started, I'm first going to give a warning. I have been coaching people for about 4 years in this game now, and I've had several people who are big spenders come in, ask me how to spend money, and they drop hundreds or even thousands of dollars on this game, expecting that they're going to be quickly ahead of everyone and winning. There's a lot of mobile games out there that are like that. This game is not one of them. Impatient spending, trying to get ahead in the game very quickly, is going to make you frustrated and probably make you quit the game. Most of the people that I've coached like that, that's exactly what happened. They don't get mods, zetas, omicrons. They build all these characters and then realize that they're nowhere close to finished, and they quit. Spending gear for shards or gear, just to put that in perspective before we even get started. If you stabilize your account, let's say you've done your first big journey, about 2 million galactic power or so, you joined a decent guild. If you calculate all of the stuff that you get from weekly quests, from events, from guild income, doing raids, things like that, 1 week of play generates enough gear, character shards, zetas, and other material currencies in the game. If you were to purchase all of those things, it would take 93,000 crystals, which would cost about $600 to purchase. Purchasing shards for characters and purchasing gear in this game is absolutely futile for a new account. If you spent $200, you would buy 2.5 days worth of progress. Okay? Just want to put that in perspective as we get started. Let's talk about the store. If you're in the game, you're going to see a store and you can make purchases out of that store. That is not the store that you want to make purchases from. There's also a store on the web. You can get to it in any search engine. If you type Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes web store, it'll take you right to the link. You can link your account and log in, and you can get free rewards here every day, things that you would never get unless you visited the web store. You just go in there and you get it for free. The purchases that you make here will always be higher value. If you purchase crystals in the game for $20, you'll get 2,800. If you purchase them out of the shop here, you'll get more. The reason for that is pretty simple. The in-game app, the makers of the game, have to pay a third party for those in-game purchases. When you purchase on the web store, you're purchasing directly from EA and Capital Games, and they get to keep more of the profit so they can offer you more, and they really want to drive people to the web store. It's really in your best interest to go there and make your purchases more efficiently and get your free stuff. Character shards. When you first start the game, a lot of these games, really the right way to start is to do a lot of summons, right? You got to get in, use your tickets, use your spell books, whatever the game has for summons. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is different. When you look in the store, you're going to find these fleet data cards and chromium packs, and they're going to look like a great way to start filling up your character shards for dark side, light side characters or fleet. The truth is there are so many characters and these packs are so bad that you could spend hundreds of thousands of crystals and your progress would be minimal and you will be very frustrated. Do not ever buy from these packs. Character shards are also offered in the store in bundles. Sometimes they're a defined amount of character shards. Sometimes you make the pack purchase and it'll randomly roll the number of shards that you get. Just be aware, we're going to talk about Lightspeed bundles later. Lightspeed bundles represent full completed characters. You're buying the character. That's different than buying the shards. Shards are just working you towards 7 stars on your character. They're not getting you anything else. My advice to any newer players and even experienced players, anytime that you're buying character shards from the shop, it's pretty inefficient. Buying fully completed characters through Lightspeed bundles is incredibly efficient, so don't get those two things confused. All right. Just to give you an idea of the difference in value, for a long time I've recommended this Houndstooth pack as one of the more efficient purchases in the game. Bosk is a good character. Houndstooth is one of the best ships in the game still after all these years, and it's worth it for new players to try to get this Houndstooth up and running. There's a pack. If you go into the Journey Guide for Millennium Falcon, there's a button that says Shop for Requirements, and you'll see this pack. It'll show up, and that'll get you a boost on Bosk and the Houndstooth for $24. Knowing that there's Lightspeed bundles out there that have been offered where you could get 10 characters at relic level for $15 versus a few character and ship shards here for $24, it's not even on the same scale. So I don't recommend these character packs anymore. They're far less efficient than they used to be. And if you do have this $24 to spend, you're much, much better served waiting for a Lightspeed bundle to show up and then buying the Lightspeed bundle. So character shards, in general, avoid making purchases that only are getting you character shards. Let's talk about crystals. In a lot of games, there's a premium currency that you can only buy by spending money. In Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, you can purchase crystals, and that's the premium currency in the game. However, there's a bunch of different ways in the game that allow you to earn crystals inside the game without ever spending money, which is fantastic. So when you first start the game, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of crystals, but as you play the game and develop your account, you'll get more and more. And, accounts at the end game are getting 1,500, 2,000 credits a day, averaged over a long period of time. Crystals every day. So really, they give you plenty to play the game, free to play eventually. But when you first start out, it's hard to get those crystals. You can refresh all of the energy types in the game. If you run them down near zero, the next time you try to do something with that energy type, it'll ask you if you want to refresh it. The first 3 refreshes for the mod energy, fleet energy, and the dark and light side energy cost 50. The first 3 refreshes on Cantina cost 100. Those basic refreshes are how you do efficient account building in this game. So if you want to build your account quickly and efficiently, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be going into these energy types and finding enough crystals to do as many of these refreshes as you can every day. In Cantina, for example, if you were to farm Geonosian Spy, it not only gets you the character shards, it also gets you materials to help put skills on characters. It helps get extra currency to make purchases out of the shop that uses that Cantina currency. So all of these energy types provide several different layers of benefit to your account. Refreshing those energy types and spending more of that energy in the game is really the way to perform well in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Getting up to 750, if you did all your basic refreshes, it would cost you 150 for 3 types, 300 for Cantina, total of 750 crystals. Placement of Grand Arena, for example, gives you crystals performance and guild events get you crystals. But right when you start out, you won't be getting much out of those sources. So if you just want to purchase some crystals right when you start the game, buy some crystals and just use those crystals to do these refreshes, absolutely good efficiency. One of the top things that you could spend money on in the entire game. Mods exist within the game. Again, I've coached quite a few people that have not worked on mods at all, and they're a year into the game, and they suddenly realize, man, I should have been working on these mods. Understand, if you're not working on them, there's no catch-up mechanic in the game right now. So if you skip mods for the first year, you will be a year behind forever. Okay? All characters are the same until you apply mods. That's how you differentiate your character. If you want your Darth Vader to be better than other people's Darth Vader, you have to have better mods on yours. It's that simple. So we need to get those mod refreshes. We need to get that started early on in the game. If you don't get those refreshes and you decide to just skip it, there will be a point where you'll regret it. And there's not a way to catch up. Okay? So just be aware, you do need to get character shards. You need to get your characters 7 stars to play in a lot of game modes. You need to work on your ships, gear up the characters, all of that stuff, but don't skip the mods. Now, this is so important that I've had this as my ending screen on my videos for almost 4 years now. Every video ends with Grandma Mod saying, "Come on, son, farm your mods." All right, I did this on my Darth Loquitur account. I spent $20 a month on crystals to guarantee those refreshes. I'm telling you guys, it smooths out so many things. It makes building your account much more easy, fun, and rewarding. If you're not going to spend money at all, you can play free to play. I'm not saying that you have to spend money in the game. I'm just saying that this is an efficient way to convert cash into in-game efficiency. While we're talking about energy, you can also pick up free energy from several different sources. That web store often will give you free energy in the pack that you pick up there for the day. So go to the web store once a day, get your free energy there. The game will also offer you free energy 3 times a day when you go to that episode system and you go to your quests, your objectives at the bottom right-hand corner. You can see on the left side of the screen here, we've got a little button lit up that says we can claim 45 regular and 45 fleet energy just by clicking the button. That button will be lit up 3 times a day. It's based on your reset time. If you go in your settings, look at your time settings, set it for whatever reset time you want. That will dictate your squad arena payout, your fleet arena payout, and when this free energy pops up in the game. My reset time, for example, is 6 o'clock p.m. So I get free energy showing up at 6 a.m., noon, and 3 p.m. Those are times that I can always grab my free energy. If you set it up so that you get free energy at 2 in the morning, you're probably not going to be awake to receive it. So take a look at that. Think about when you want your reset time. It's a way to set yourself up to get those free energy sources. Let's talk about credits. When you build characters, you want to level somebody up to 85, you're going to have to spend credits. Just understand, for the first 2 years of play, you're always going to be out of credits. It takes so much investment to get characters from 1 to 85. It takes tons of credits to work on your mods, to level up mods. There's just this huge credit drain in the game. And you're always going to feel like you're broke. And you will be. And that's the way the game is. But don't worry about it. Everybody else that's playing the game is going to be in the same boat. It's not you. You're not the only person that's out of credits. If you think that you're going to go get enough credits to get caught up, again, let's put this in perspective. If you get raid tokens, for Mark 1 raid token, 625 will buy you 1,000,000 credits. If you get a raid payout and all you do is spend it on credits slowly each time the shop refreshes, shops refresh every 6 hours, So you could potentially get, let's say, 3 purchases like this a day or more. Slowly over time, you could easily get 20 million credits out of this shop every week. If you were to look at how much it costs you to convert crystals into credits, it's massively inefficient, right? When we're talking about spending crystals or cash, one of the things we never ever want to do, don't get desperate and go buy credits for crystals. It's horrible. Instead, be patient, build up your credits using this Mark 1 raid token. That's the way to increase your credit count in the game. At first, when I first started my Lex Talionis project, it's an account that I've been playing free to play. It's been played for a little over a year now. And for the longest time, whenever I got a raid payout, I would spend 1/3 of the raid payout buying characters, 1/3 of the raid payout buying credits, and 1/3 buying gear. And that was probably the first 6 months of gameplay on that account. The Hyperdrive Bundle. When it was created in 2019, the Hyperdrive Bundle represented approximately a full year of gameplay. Things have changed a lot since then. The characters are leveled up, I think, to 80. They're 5 stars, which isn't that impressive, but it's a head start on all of those things. And like I said, with all of those credits that you need, having those characters already at level 80 represents a ton of credits that you don't have to spend. It's still, to this day, the single best gear pack in the game. In addition to the characters, you get level 85, and you get a ton of gear that can help you easily make your first Gear 12 character, potentially even 2 characters close to Gear 12, just with the gear from the pack. So it cost $100 when they first introduced it. They reduced it to $50, and I think it was a good value for $50. At the moment, it's $10, but I think that's a temporary offer, so you should probably expect it to cost around $50 to buy out of the store. But for players who are willing to spend that money up front in the game, it really is a huge jump. It accelerates your timeline for getting your first big journey completed. It's really worth thinking about if you're willing to spend money. Again, you don't have to buy it, but if you do choose to spend money, the Hyperdrive Bundle is a very efficient purchase. Lightspeed bundles. This is the catch-up mechanic in the game where new players can buy a group of characters that have been built out to 7 stars and taken up the relic level, and all their skills will be at skill level 7, I believe. So this represents a massive amount of time and materials that would be spent in the game to build those characters. A lot of times it's centered around a journey. So let's say there's 4 characters required to unlock a journey, and they'll give you those 4 characters at relic at the appropriate relic level to unlock the journey. You can unlock that character. Most of the journeys represent the best characters in the game. So you'll get 4 relic requirements. You'll get to unlock the character and build it. And the amount of time that it represents is massive. It's insanely efficient, right? There was a pack a long time ago. I think it was like $15 got you 15 relic characters. It was crazy. They made a pack around General Anakin Skywalker that gave a 7-star negotiator capital ship for fleets. Just insanely efficient with these purchases, okay? So just know, Lightspeed bundles come and go, but if you're only going to spend a little bit of money, $10, $20 here and there on the game, absolutely what you're going to want to do is wait for these Lightspeed bundles to show up and then purchase the Lightspeed bundles that make the most sense to you for how you want to play the game. It's the single most efficient purchase in the game. There's packs that are going to come and go that have gear, mods, relic materials. There's 2 ways to evaluate the value of a pack before you click buy. One way is to look at what that gear would cost you in crystals and then kind of back calculate what that's worth in dollars and figure out whether or not the pack is worth it. Usually I say if a pack represents 2.5 times or more the value in crystals, it's a pretty good deal. There's a second way to look at these packs, which I kind of do myself in evaluating any of these packs. For any gear, mods, or relic materials that I could buy out of the shop, I could also just get those from the game over time with those normal refreshes. So there's something that I think, I'm going to get these materials anyway if I just wait. All I'm doing is buying a little bit of time. And to me, for these gear packs, mod packs, things like that, the amount of time that I save is never worth it. I'm just going to be patient, wait for it. It's going to come to me out of the game anyway. It's fine. So I don't typically make these purchases either for crystals or cash, but that's my personal view on efficiency. You can follow that or not based on your own needs. As a general recommendation for new players, though, I would say stay out of these packs until you know more about the game. Knowing that you could buy Lightspeed bundles or Hyperdrive that are incredibly efficient, spending $10 on a pack that gives you some relic making materials is just not going to be a good use of your money. I guess unless you've got tons of money that you don't care. In that case, you probably wouldn't be watching this video anyway. Worth mentioning as we're talking about the stores and crystal purchases, Carbonite circuit boards are a material that's required for making relics. I love to do efficiency calculations in the game, and in all of my calculations, I have never found an efficient way to keep up with Carbonite circuit boards. At the rate that I relic characters, I can get all of the materials, but I can't get the circuit boards. There's a pack that shows up in the shop. You can spend 500 crystals. It gives you a random amount of crystals that gets rolled when you buy the pack. But that's the way that I keep up with my Carbonite circuit boards. I have to buy 1 or 2 packs every month on my main account that I'm playing. So just be aware that may not be, let's say, one of the most efficient purchases in the game. But once you get the account developed and you start making relic characters, you may find that you need to go in here, save up some crystals, and buy that pack. Again, it only shows up in the shop 1 week per month, so it won't be in there all the time, and you may have to wait for it to pop up. Conquest Pass. You can buy a pass for Conquest game mode. If you buy that pass and you're doing hard conquest, there's progress that you can get, and there's different boxes. There's 7 total boxes. If you can achieve the 5th box and buy the pass, you will unlock that conquest character after 6 rounds of conquest. You won't have to play Proving Grounds or buy shards somewhere else. So this is a way that a lot of players, myself included, if you've got a mid-game account, you don't have enough teams to do all of the objectives in Conquest to get the higher level boxes, you can buy the pass, get box 5, and you'll still get the character out of Conquest. It's not worth it for easy or normal. Wait till you're in hard mode. There's an upgraded pass. I think the upgraded pass is good for only one purpose. Once you're in hard conquest and you have some teams, but not a lot of teams, and you want the conquest character within 3 rounds. For me, Queen Amidala is an example. When the Queen Amidala character came out, I wanted to get her in 3 rounds of conquest. So I bought the hard pass to help me get all the way to box 7, so I could get that character unlocked within 3 rounds. If you're not doing that, I definitely don't think the upgraded pass in Conquest is ever worth it. The basic pass is a good value. The upgraded pass, I think, is only to help you if you really want that character unlocked. Basically, you're buying time. You're getting the character more quickly. The episode system is relatively new to the game, but the episode pass allows you access to an additional loot track. So when you go into the episode system, you'll see that there's a free track on the bottom. You can get free stuff as you complete your episode quests, objectives. There's also on the top another layer that you can get for completing it if you have the episode pass. You still have to wait for the nodes to unlock, just like you do for the free track at the bottom. So just be aware that pass becomes efficient once you can get past node 35 or higher. So the first nodes have some of the lesser rewards, and then the best rewards start coming at the higher level nodes. So by my calculation, once you can get to any node 35 or higher, this episode pass is very efficient and gives you really good rewards. Additionally, with the episode pass, if you can complete the track, you get 5 droid brains. Suffice to say, if you're a new player and you don't know what that means, eventually you're going to have to take a character to Relic 9. You need these droid brains to get the character to Relic 9, and they're incredibly difficult to get in the game if you're not part of a really high-end guild. As a new account, new player, you won't be in those guilds, you won't be getting droid brains, and by the time you need them for a Relic 9 character, hopefully they will have introduced a new way in the game to get them. But for right now, the episode pass is a nice way to start picking up a lot of good gear and also get 5 droid brains. You need 20 of them for a single Relic 9 character, so you would have to buy this pass for 4 months to be able to have enough droid brains for 1 Relic 9. It gives you some perspective on how rare that material is. Now, that's not the reason you buy the episode pass, but I think it's worth considering for new players. So just a final warning. As we exit this discussion about spending, I'm going to wrap it up here with a summary, okay? But first, just suffice to say, at the time of this production, Fleet Arena is still a source of crystal income. The Executor Capital ship gives you the ability to place in the top 5 in Fleet Arena against all other fleets in the game that newer players will reasonably have. If you target your spending to achieve the goal of getting an Executor Capital ship, that's going to get you daily income from Fleet. It's going to pay back itself. Those Fleet crystals are going to accelerate your account building, reduce the amount that you need to purchase crystals, or at least not make it hard for you to figure out where you're going to get your crystals for efficient, ongoing account building. Spending on your favorite characters or teams without working toward a journey is not advised. So all the stuff that I'm talking about, Lightspeed bundles, Hyperdrive, they're good on their own. But for targeted spending, pick a journey, focus on it. If you don't know what to build, trust me when I tell you, the Executor Capital ship needs to be your first big journey for your account. Skip the character journeys, go straight into the Executor journey. Again, you could do character journeys, the smaller ones, but doing this is better than a Galactic Legend. It's better than whatever else you could build for establishing income and account building efficiency. Okay, recap. Stuff here that's highlighted in green. Good, efficient new account spending. Lightspeed bundles have the highest value by far. They represent the most gear and time spent in the game. They're periodic. Most often when you go in a shop, there won't be one available. When one does show up, you're going to have to decide within a short period of time whether you're going to buy it or not. Once it's gone, it may never come back. Hyperdrive Bundle is still the best gear pack in the game. The best time, if you're ever going to buy the Hyperdrive Bundle, it's the best value right away. The longer you wait to buy it, the worse it gets because you will have worked on a bunch of the characters already. The third best value in the game for spending money is just to buy crystals to get those energy refreshes every single day that you play your account. Next page. Stuff that's a good value. I won't say great, but good. It's efficient. It's effective. Good for account building. The episode pass is good as long as you can get past node 35. Conquest Pass is good when you're in hard conquest. You have to get 4 million galactic power to get into hard conquest. So for a lot of players, that may be a while. But once you're in hard conquest, the Conquest Pass can be worth it to unlock those characters. The Carbonite circuit board pack for 500 crystals from the shop is available 1 week a month. I consider that to be sort of a must-do purchase for most accounts. Again, you don't have to buy the crystals. If you're getting in-game income, you can just save up 500 crystals, and when the pack shows up in the shop, you buy it. Last page, inefficient new account spending, things that you want to avoid. Don't spend crystals on specific gear pieces, and don't buy credits. It can help short term, but this is a very, very long-term game. You'll get that gear, you'll get those credits from the game over time. Don't rush it. Don't hurry it. Let the game come to you. Avoid buying specific gear. The gear packs that show up in the shop are usually what I consider to be a mediocre value. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good, but none of them are even close to the other high value purchases. Be skeptical of those purchases. You may be getting a great deal or you may be getting ripped off. Until you get more experience in the game, I don't recommend buying those. A lot of the ones that look like a really good deal, when you read them, they actually have a variable payout. And even though it shows that you could get like 400 kairos out of a pack, when you read the fine print, it says up to 400 kairos. And the likelihood is you're going to get 25. So be careful with those packs. Avoid them if you're a new player until you have the experience to know. Or maybe you'll join a guild and the guild will provide guidance on which packs are a good deal. Last but not least, those standard chromium packs where you can buy character or ship shards. Avoid those. Don't buy those ever. Inefficient, ineffective. Stay away from it. That's going to wrap up this Holocron number 2 on spending crystals and cash in the game of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Please remember to hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this stuff in the future. Use the notification bell so you know when I'm doing my live streams. I'm currently doing 4 live streams a week for Grand Arena and building my Lex Talionis account. We have a Discord. The link is up above, down below. The Loquitur Discord is a nice, safe community. You can come in, ask a bunch of questions. There'll always be somebody that's willing to give you good advice, give you an answer. There's an Ask Loquitur channel. You can ask me questions directly, and I'll try to get you an answer when I can. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next Holocron.